Right now, your cat recognizes your voice in ways that are deeper than most owners ever realize. Not just the sound of it, but the shape of it, the rhythm, the tone, the tiny emotional changes, every phrase you repeat, every soft nickname, every breath that carries stress or warmth before words arrive. Your cat is not just hearing noise from across the room, their brain is sorting it, weighing it, and connecting it to you. And once you understand what happens inside that brain when you speak, the way your cat listens will never feel ordinary again. Because the first thing researchers have found is, surprisingly intimate, your cat's brain reacts differently to your voice. You walk into a room and say their name. Nothing dramatic. Just that familiar sound. Said the way you always say it. Maybe they barely move. Maybe one ear turns. Maybe they keep pretending they are not listening. But before they decide whether to respond, their brain has already recognized something personal. Cats can distinguish their owner's voice from a stranger's voice with remarkable consistency. But recognition is only the surface. The more powerful part is what your voice activates after it is recognized. When your voice reaches your cat's auditory cortex, it can trigger reward pathways that a stranger's voice does not. The same words, spoken in the same tone by someone else, do not land in their brain the same way. To your cat, your voice is not just information. It is a familiar signal tied to safety, routine, and belonging, and it goes even further. Cats also show a form of cocktail party processing. That means when several sounds are happening at once, their brain can filter through the noise to locate your voice. They're not passively sitting there while the world gets loud. Their brain is actively searching for you inside the noise. That is why your cat may seem to notice you even when the room is full of people talking. But the detail that changes everything is this. Your cat reads the emotion in your voice before the words fully matter. Before your sentence is finished, they may already know whether you sound anxious, happy, gentle, or upset. So if your cat has ever reacted more to how you said something than to what you actually said, you were not imagining it. Your tone reached them first. Your words came second. And in that small gap, they already understood more than you knew. The next piece is even more personal. They know their name. And they may know far more than that. Think about hearing your own name across a crowded room. You turn before you even decide to turn. Cats live a version of that experience every time we speak to them. Research from the University of Tokyo showed that cats can distinguish their own names from similar sounding words. Even when strangers said words with the same length and rhythm, cats responded differently when their real name appeared. The reaction could be tiny, an ear movement, a slight head turn, a shift in attention, but tiny does not mean meaningless. With cats, the smallest movement can reveal the clearest recognition, and in homes with multiple cats, the finding becomes even more interesting. Cats may learn the names of other cats. They are not only listening for themselves, they are quietly mapping the social world of the home through your voice. Over time, your cat builds a kind of private dictionary around the way you speak. Not a dictionary like a dog learning commands, but something quieter, more personnel, and more tied to daily life. They learn the words that predict food, the sounds that mean attention, the phrases that come before comfort. They learn the nickname you use when you are relaxed, and the sharper tone that tells them something has changed, depending on their age, their environment, and how often you talk to them. That vocabulary can become surprisingly rich. It may include a few dozen words, or even far more, all shaped around your household and your habits. That means your cat is not simply reacting to random sounds. They are living inside a language you built together. Every repeated phrase becomes part of the relationship. Every familiar sound becomes a small piece of shared history. And then there is the voice many cat owners pretend they do not use. That soft, high-pitched, slightly embarrassing voice that appears only when your cat is near. The one you would probably lower immediately if another human walked into the room, it turns out that voice has a real name: cat-directed speech. Researchers in France found that cats respond more strongly to cat-directed speech than to normal adult conversation. Their attention sharpens, their body language changes, they become more engaged with a person speaking. But here is the part that matters most. It works best when the voice comes from their own owner. A stranger can use the same higher pitch, the same gentle rhythm, and the same warmth, but it does not land the same way. Your cat is not just responding to pitch. They are responding to pitch wrapped inside the voice they already trust. Neurologically, that higher frequency range taps into older bonding systems connected to kitten and mother communication. So when you raise your voice softly for your cat, you are not being ridiculous. You are speaking to a system they understand. Their brain receives it as a signal of closeness, a signal that says, this person is safe, familiar, and mine. That is why the voice feels silly to other people, but meaningful to the animal sitting beside you, and your voice does more than create attention. It carries your emotional state like a current. You may hide your feelings from people in the room, but your cat is listening to changes. Most humans miss stress, sadness, fear, warmth, and joy. All shift the frequency and rhythm of your voice in tiny ways. To another person, those changes may be invisible. To your cat, they can be unmistakable. When you are anxious, subtle changes in your tone can activate your cat's amygdala, the brain's emotional center. Their body may begin to mirror your state. Because your stress does not stay entirely inside you, it travels through your voice, reaches their nervous system, and quietly becomes part of the room. That is why cats often appear during difficult moments without being called, as if they heard the part you did not say. Your voice told them something before your words could. It said you were not completely steady, and the opposite is just as powerful. When you speak with real happiness, your cat can feel that warmth, to not forced cheerfulness, not a performance, but genuine joy carried through a voice they already trust. That kind of voice can help release oxytocin, the bonding hormone connected with comfort, closeness, and care. So the words you say when you are truly present with them may leave a deeper mark than casual sounds ever could. Your cat may not understand every sentence, but they feel the emotional weight inside it. And the words that carry real feeling are often the ones their brain keeps. There is also one conversation that matters more than most people realize. The first one of the morning, after hours apart. Even if you were only asleep, your cat's brain becomes more sensitive to your voice again. That grogged, half-awake greeting you give them before the day really begins is not meaningless to them. In feline social behavior, reunion sounds help re-establish connection and confirm that everything is safe. So when you wake up and say, "Good morning," even softly, you are completing an old social ritual. You do not need to say anything profound. The point is not the sentence. The point is that your voice returned. Then there is the simple power of asking questions. When your voice rises at the end of a question, your cat processes it differently from a flat statement. "Are you hungry?" does not feel the same as it's dinner time. Even if the meaning is close, a question sounds like an invitation. It tells your cat that this is not only a sound directed at them, it is a moment where their response matters. Over time, cats who hear more questions often develop richer vocal habits: meows, chirps, trills, tiny replies. You are not just talking at them, you are teaching them that communication can move both ways. And maybe that is the real secret behind all of this. Your voice is not background noise in your cat's life. It is one of the safest sounds they know. Calm speech can slow their stress response, soften their body, and help their nervous system settle. The small things you say while making coffee, walking past them, or turning off the lights at night all matter. To you, it may feel like ordinary talking. To them, It may sound like proof that their world is still okay. Not every cat will show this dramatically. Some bond quietly. Some listen without coming closer, but when you speak to your cat with love, their brain registers something real. So keep talking to them, even when they seem to ignore you, because somewhere behind that still face and flicking ear, they are listening more closely than you think.